Hey guys, this is how to beat the Puppet Arena in version 3.1 really fast. You need to do like 2, maybe 3 runs to completely empty out the shop. The way you do this is you go for this Blood Tide lineup here featuring Eternity and Medicine Pocket. You're gonna go for 2 Synergies. For the Blood Tide synergy, of course, you wanna max this out. So you can see the characters down below here that you aim for. Your lineup that you want to play with shall consist of Nautica, Sentinel, Semmelweis and Medicine Pocket. In case you would find the character Robushka, you would not want to play her actively and you would want to put her here in the substitute category because she doesn't deal any damage and her ultimate takes up too much time. Additionally, Medicine Pocket does never use his ultimate, therefore the battles play out faster. And you will be invincible and unkillable with him alone anyways. The second synergy that you want to go for is this one right here called Fresh Buds. So aim that you get at least 2 of these characters in your lineup. Be it Mondlicht or Flutterpage, Sharon, right? Doesn't matter. You want 2 of these characters in your lineup. And in order for you to finish off the Blood Tide synergy with 10 points and Fresh Buds on 2 points, you will need specific artifacts that I will show you in just a second. The artifacts that you aim for is this one right here, the Blood Tide Ritual. You will need like 1 or 2 of those to obtain yourself the fully maxed out Blood Tide synergy plus the 2 that you want for the Fresh Buds. The very best artifact in the game for this roster is the Emerald Ring. It also increases your synergy count by 1 and for every 8 Blood Tide points consumed, your extra action deals more damage. Put this on Nautica. If you don't have Nautica, put it on Semmelweis. Once you have defeated your first battle, or maybe you need to defeat 2 battles, I can't remember anymore, you will be hit with this screen here. And you can see that you can either obtain Semmelweis or you can already obtain a Blood Tide Ritual. Here, if you already have Semmelweis at your disposal, you pick the Blood Tide Ritual, right? If you would not have Semmelweis, you of course always go for new puppets to increase your synergy, and therefore you would pick Semmelweis. She is also a character that you will always play in your main lineup and not just as a substitute. Then you can see here that I would now be able to buy dupes here. For example, for Eternity. I do not want to do that though, because Eternity will not be in my final lineup in the end anyways. So I prefer buying, in this case, DK, because she gives me a Blood Tide synergy, and you can see that my Blood Tide synergy is 7 out of 10, but I want it to be at least 8 out of 10. So I would prefer and prioritize buying DK over a dupe for Eternity. You will never buy dupes for characters that you do not play in your main lineup, and you always prioritize going for new characters that you don't already have and that increase your synergy so that you can max that out. Your final objective is to get the Blood Tide synergy 10 out of 10 and 2 out of 5 for best buds. Then the next screen, you can see this right here, I bought Sharon because he has the synergy increase for best buds. That's why I put him into my substitute lineup to increase that synergy, and you can see my Blood Tide synergy right now is 8 out of 10. I have Nautica, Semmelweis, Sentinel and Medicine Pocket in my lineup, plus 2 best buds on the substitute spots. So from this point onwards, I would aim to find myself artifacts such as the Emerald Ring and the Blood Tide Ritual, as you can see right here. What do you prefer to buy in this case? As I said, you do not go for copies for Eternity because you don't actively play her, and you need 2 more Blood Tide synergy to make it 10 out of 10. So I'm gonna go for the middle one. I'm gonna prioritize this, and the Blood Tide Ritual is what I'm gonna buy here to get the 10 out of 10 Blood Tide synergy going. Here, always in these cases, you always every single time go for the puppets, whatever gives you puppets. Never pick the middle one here with the new bubbles exhibitor, because you would need to find an extra battle and you don't want to waste time onto that. You don't need the materials or the currency that this will give you anyways. You always go for either the left part to invite a very powerful puppet. In my case, my lineup is already 100% perfect. I have Nautica, I have Semmelweis, Sentinel and Medicine Pocket, so what I need in this case are the Blood Tide Rituals. That's why I would pick the Artefact workshop here. But if you would not have, for example, one of your core lineup puppets, or you don't have your synergies 8 out of 10 and 2 out of 5, you always go for the puppet. In my case, I picked the artwork workshop to aim for the Blood Tide Rituals though. Here, you always go for the very hardest battle, and you play every single battle on autoplay, because you get more currency for playing it on auto battle, and you are invincible. You can see that my team rating here is S, but I face a battle that is SSS ranking. Absolutely no problem. This will be obliterated anyways on autoplay, even though my team rating is much lower. But I have the synergies going, and I have the best lineup in the entire game at my disposal, so I win the fight regardless. Remember that. Always pick the hardest fight and play it on autoplay. Here, there is a little bit of an example. This is the very last fight in the entire run. So here, if you get like incredibly unlucky, you take a little bit of a risk of losing that battle if for the last fight you pick the hardest fight. My Nautica here pulled through, right? The rest of my team died. I beat this battle, but rarely I pulled through. But for the very last battle, you can go for the middle fight instead of the fight on the very right hand side. Just in case, if you get too unlucky on your journey and you don't find like the puppets that you need, you don't find the artifacts, you don't get the synergies going, right? Then you can either reset your run early, or you pick not the hardest fight in the very last battle. And here you can see my final lineup view. Again, I have Nautica, Sentinel, Semmelweis, Medicine Pocket. I have the Emerald Ring and 2 Blood Tide Rituals equipped. You can see my Blood Tide synergy is 10 out of 10. Best buds is 2 out of 5. And that is all I want to accomplish. And you just do 2 or 3 runs depending on if you want to skip the garment or not, or the profile picture that is in there. You don't need to grab those rewards, just go for everything else, and then you need like 2 runs to empty out the entire shop, right? And that's it about the video, guys. I hope that was fun and informative. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.